What's up? Inflatable enthusiast here, and today's review is on the Gemmy 2022 air-blown inflatable Dapper Easter Bunny. So I got this from Yard Inflatables for $54. 7 feet tall. It's just called Easter Bunny, but people in the fan base have been dubbing it the Dapper Bunny because of his fancy clothing. Yeah, so this is 7 feet tall, but it is a cheap fan, unfortunately. I think it should have been, a base fan, one of the weaker base fans, but it's fine. Cheap fan's not terrible. Normally nowadays, though, we don't really see, base fans that are less than, 6 or 5 feet tall. So this was honestly to be expected. And if it was a base fan, it'd probably jack up the price to $80 or $90, maybe even $100. But the main reason I bought this was because of the design. I really, really liked the design when I first saw it. It reminds me of the classic, Peter Cottontail design from, the books and stuff like that. That's one of the main reasons why I liked it. But as you can see here, the front of the box is the inflatable. The background is, a nice, purple house. Sides are the same. Here's the height comparison. 2022 Gemmy Industries. And then up on the top here we have the Yard Inflatable sticker. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to go over at this one. This is probably going to be my last Easter review. Actually, no, not my last. At the time of me making this video, I have filmed all of my other Easter inflatables, but this might be released before the other ones, so I take that back. But yeah, so anyways, I'll just open it up actually right now, since I don't have to cut the box. Here's the 12-volt adapter. Instructions. Now I'm interested to see what stakes this comes with. Hope it comes with plastic stakes. And it doesn't, actually. 4 fishhook stakes. Actually, no, 6. And then looks like only 4 tethers, yeah. Alright. So that's a little unfortunate. I get this is a cheap fan inflatable, but it's 7 feet tall. It should have plastic stakes. These fishhook base fan stakes honestly do not really work well at all. They don't even work well for the base fan, so they won't really work well with the normal inflatable. But here's the plug. So I'm gonna go plug this in and we'll inflate it. Alright, so I got them all taken out of the box in the bag. He has a medium-sized cheap fan, which, in my opinion, we definitely should have gotten a large. Because, again, this is a 7-foot inflatable. If we can't get a base fan, we should at least get a large cheap fan. But, fortunately, Gemmy apparently does not agree. But yeah, so let's plug it in. So there's going to be a delay before it starts up. Actually does have a tail. That's nice. Nice little detail there. Oh, it actually inflated much faster than I thought. I didn't think this thing would go up in less than 30 seconds, but I guess I was wrong. That inflated pretty quickly. Oops. So, yeah, there it is. He's leaning a little bit towards the left. That might be because of the, I don't know, the sand or bean bags in the bottom. That doesn't bother me, though, because I can just take it down. But yeah. So, like I said in my, so the same thing with the 12.5-foot bunny. The bunny itself, this bunny, is about 10 and a half, maybe 11 feet tall. The ears is what gets it up to 12.5 feet. So same thing with this. This bunny's probably around, 5'9", 5'8", at the top of the head, but then the ears give it about an extra 2 feet. So it's still 7 feet tall. I'm not saying that Gemmy's wrong in saying that. But it mainly gets the height from the ears. But yeah, the design is very, very nice. I love the blue coat and like the pastel plaid for his shirt underneath. I like how he also does have a collar. Looks very nice. He has a little red bow tie, purple egg. And it's a nice light purple too. It's not like a dark, strong purple. The facial design is excellent. I love the face on this one. It looks more like a realistic rabbit than like a cartoon kind of bunny, like on the Lux bunny and the 12-foot one. Those are more like cartoon bunnies. They're not like, you know, realistic looking bunnies. But this one actually looks like an actual bunny rabbit, which is cool. I don't think Gemmy's done that in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, so he has 4 tethers, 2 on either side right here, and right here, and then 2 at the bottom, right there, and then 1 on the other side. So, hold up. Right there. So there's a cheap fan down there. It's right below his tail, which the tail actually does inflate too, and it looks really, really nice when it's inflated. He has 3 LEDs, 1 there right above his lower back, 1 on the back of his head, or the back of his neck, and then 1 behind the egg. And his arm isn't stitched to the egg. He can hold it either there or like right there. I don't mind. Both of them look fine to me. So whatever way it inflates, I think it looks good. I think on the box though, he's holding it more underneath it like this. But yeah. So it's a very simple design, but it's very, very nice. I like this one. Like I said earlier, it reminds me a lot of like the Peter Cottontail, like, you know, books and artwork. Just that classic Easter bunny vibe. And the bunny is also like a sort of tannish gray color, which is very nice as well. Instead of like, you know, white or pink. Again, making it seem more realistic. Alright, here he is in the dark, and I say this every review now, he's brighter on camera than he is in person, but in person he actually still lights up very well, actually. I'm impressed. I thought he would light up like garbage because of how big he is and because how he only has 3 LEDs. But he lights up very good. His ears, you can't really see them, but you know they're there. His body lights up okay. His face lights up great. His face lights up perfectly. So yeah. My only complaint with this inflatable is that it's not a base fan. I think this thing would be awesome as a base fan. And it doesn't have to be like any bigger either. They could have just done a base fan with this size. Because the Fuzzy Bunny is 8 feet tall, barely a foot taller than this one actually. He's about 8 feet. He's a little under 8 feet. I don't know if I said that in the review or not. But yeah, and that one has a YEF 125. So there's no reason why this one has a cheap fan, especially a medium cheap fan. I just don't get that. I don't care if it would have jacked up the price $20-$30. I would have paid the extra because I love this design. It's just so unfortunate that Gemmy is using cheap fans so often nowadays, and they work. I mean, he inflates pretty tightly. He inflates okay, but they're just not as durable and as high quality as base fans. Like back in the day, if this was released anywhere between, you know, 2001 and 2010, this would have a base fan for sure. There were some base fans back then that were barely even 5 feet tall. So I don't know. I just don't get it. Gemmy really needs to start, you know, upping their game, I guess you could say. They need to start producing more high quality stuff, because stuff like this is these designs are great, but they're just ruined because, well, not ruined, but they're just, the value goes down a whole lot because they're not as durable and they're not as long lasting. because I've said this in every cheap fan review I think I've ever made. Like, the cheap fans are such low voltage. If the temperature gets to a certain degree, it just stops working. Like, my Snowman Jack, just some days it just wouldn't inflate if it was cold out. And the fuses blow very easily on them. You often have to replace the adapter. And the LEDs slowly dim out. And they're very, very hard to replace. The C7s, you just go in there, take the plastic shield off, unscrew it, screw the new one in, put the shield back on. Piece of cake. Literally takes all but 30 seconds to do. These LEDs, you either have to, you know, rip them out of the fabric, or you have to put a whole new, like, set in them every single time, which is super unfortunate. Or you have to put a spotlight, which, like I said, in my opinion, I don't like the look of spotlights on inflatables. I don't think it ruins the effect of the lights that the inflatables give off. I did put a spotlight in my Buddy the Elf, if you've seen my Christmas display, but I put it inside of him, so it lit up the inside of him, wasn't just projecting onto him. So if you have a cheap fan and you want to put a spotlight on it, I recommend trying that. That actually worked out really well. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining. This design is great. $54 on Yard Inflatables is a perfect price for this. I think the retail price for whatever stores it was sold at was like $89, which is a little ridiculous, or $79, somewhere around there. So I wouldn't pay any more than $60 for this. But it's definitely a very nice design, and it will look great in my Easter display. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to get this one, definitely pick it up. The cheap fan obviously is a downside, but I don't think it ruins the inflatable because the design is so great. It is very unique. We haven't gotten many Gemmy inflatables that are like this nowadays. So yeah, but that'll do it for this one. I'm the Inflatable Enthusiast, and I'll see you guys next time.